Who is Albert Einstein? Albert Einstein, born on 14 March 1879 and died on 18 April 1955, was a German-born theoretical physicist who is widely held to be one of the greatest and most influential scientists of all time. Best known for developing the theory of relativity, Einstein also made important contributions to quantum mechanics, and was thus a central figure in the revolutionary reshaping of the scientific understanding of nature that modern physics accomplished in the first decades of the 20th century. His mass-energy equivalence formula E=mc2, which arises from relativity theory, has been called the world's most famous equation. He received the 1921 Nobel Prize in Physics for his services to theoretical physics, and especially for his discovery of the law of the photoelectric effect, a pivotal step in the development of quantum theory. His work is also known for its influence on the philosophy of science. In a 1999 poll of 130 leading physicists worldwide by the British journal Physics World, Einstein was ranked the greatest physicist of all time. His intellectual achievements and originality have made the word Einstein broadly synonymous with genius. Born in the German Empire, Einstein moved to Switzerland in 1895, forsaking his German citizenship the following year. In 1897, at the age of 17, he enrolled in the Mathematics and Physics Teaching Diploma program at the Swiss Federal Polytechnic School in Zurich, graduating in 1900. In 1901, he acquired Swiss citizenship, which he kept for the rest of his life. In 1903, he secured a permanent position at the Swiss Patent Office in Bern. In 1905, he submitted a successful PhD dissertation to the University of Zurich. In 1914, he moved to Berlin in order to join the Prussian Academy of Sciences and the Humboldt University of Berlin. In 1917, he became director of the Kaiser Wilhelm Institute for Physics. He also became a German citizen again, this time as a subject of the Kingdom of Prussia. In 1933, while he was visiting the United States, Adolf Hitler came to power in Germany. Horrified by the Nazi war of extermination against his fellow Jews, Einstein decided to remain in the U.S., and was granted American citizenship in 1940. On the eve of World War II, he endorsed a letter to President Franklin D. Roosevelt alerting him to the potential German nuclear weapons program and recommending that the U.S. begin similar research. Einstein supported the Allies but generally viewed the idea of nuclear weapons with great dismay. In 1905, sometimes described as his annus mirabilis, Einstein published 4 groundbreaking papers. These outlined a theory of the photoelectric effect, explained Brownian motion, introduced his special theory of relativity, a theory which addressed the inability of classical mechanics to account satisfactorily for the behavior of the electromagnetic field, and demonstrated that if the special theory is correct, mass and energy are equivalent to each other. In 1915, he proposed a general theory of relativity that extended his system of mechanics to incorporate gravitation. A cosmological paper that he published the following year laid out the implications of general relativity for the modeling of the structure and evolution of the universe as a whole. The middle part of his career also saw him making important contributions to statistical mechanics and quantum theory. Especially notable was his work on the quantum physics of radiation, in which light consists of particles, subsequently called photons. For much of the last phase of his academic life, Einstein worked on 2 endeavors that proved ultimately unsuccessful. Firstly, he advocated against quantum theory's introduction of fundamental randomness into science's picture of the world, objecting that God does not play dice. Secondly, he attempted to devise a unified field theory by generalizing his geometric theory of gravitation to include electromagnetism too. As a result, he became increasingly isolated from the mainstream of modern physics. Top 50 quotes by Albert Einstein. 2 things are infinite: the universe and human stupidity, and I'm not sure about the universe. There are only 2 ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. I am enough of an artist to draw freely upon my imagination. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. If you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't understand it yourself. If you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales. Logic will get you from A to Z. Imagination will get you everywhere. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. I speak to everyone in the same way, whether he is the garbage man or the president of the university. Never memorize something that you can look up. When you are courting a nice girl, an hour seems like a second. When you sit on a red-hot cinder, a second seems like an hour. That's relativity. A clever person solves a problem. A wise person avoids it. Science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind. Any fool can know. The point is to understand. Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. If we knew what it was we were doing, it would not be called research, would it? I have no special talents. I am only passionately curious. A human being is a part of the whole called by us universe, a part limited in time and space. He experiences himself, his thoughts and feeling as something separated from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. This delusion is a kind of prison for us, restricting us to our personal desires and to affection for a few persons nearest to us. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty. Try not to become a man of success. Rather become a man of value. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existence. One cannot help but be in awe when he contemplates the mysteries of eternity, of life, of the marvelous structure of reality. It is enough if one tries merely to comprehend a little of this mystery each day. The world as we have created it is a process of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking. The most beautiful experience we can have is the mysterious. It is the fundamental emotion that stands at the cradle of true art and true science. Once you can accept the universe as matter expanding into nothing that is something, wearing stripes with plaid comes easy. I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. If I were not a physicist, I would probably be a musician. I often think in music. I live my daydreams in music. I see my life in terms of music. You never fail until you stop trying. Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change. It is not that I'm so smart. But I stay with the questions much longer. Gravitation is not responsible for people falling in love. The world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. Creativity is intelligence having fun. If A is a success in life, then A equals X plus Y plus Z. Work is X, Y is play, and Z is keeping your mouth shut. Black holes are where God divided by zero. Everything must be made as simple as possible. But not simpler. The best way to cheer yourself is to cheer somebody else up. Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. When you trip over love, it is easy to get up. But when you fall in love, it is impossible to stand again. What is right is not always popular, and what is popular is not always right. Peace cannot be kept by force, it can only be achieved by understanding. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. A question that sometimes drives me hazy. Am I or are the others crazy? The pursuit of truth and beauty is a sphere of activity in which we are permitted to remain children all our lives. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. The woman who follows the crowd will usually go no further than the crowd. The woman who walks alone is likely to find herself in places no one has ever been before. We dance for laughter, we dance for tears, we dance for madness, we dance for fears, we dance for hopes, we dance for screams, we are the dancers, we create the dreams. Time is an illusion. It would be possible to describe everything scientifically, but it would make no sense. It would be without meaning, as if you described a Beethoven symphony as a variation of wave pressure. I must be willing to give up what I am in order to become what I will be. Blind belief in authority is the greatest enemy of truth.